check. 1, 2.
Hi, I'm Jackie, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
And now the latest scourge on television, reality TV.
And finally, I feel like there was an episode kind of worthy of our addiction, maybe? Maybe?
I think so, but still for different reasons.
Yeah.
So where are we beginning?
I mean, at the beginning would be the place that I would start, like pre-merge, pre all of that. Kendra at the Bellow Beach after the vote the night before, where we lost, what was his name? I don't even remember. Brando. Did you say Brendo?
No, Brando.
Did I say Brendo?
No.
Okay. Because I wrote down a note because Emily in her confessional kept saying Brendo, and I'm like, his name is Brando. Why is she doing that? Because when she talked about him other times, she called him Brando, but in her one confessional, she kept saying Brendo, and it was driving me literally insane. I don't know why she was doing it.
I don't know.
That's a weird thing to let annoy you, though, now that I think about it.
So Bruce is looking for an idol.
Yes.
And everybody's helping him.
I don't know how everybody isn't annoyed as hell at him.
But it was like a team exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing?
And Caleb especially, that part was so weird. And
they left
go ahead.
Out of the whole thing.
Yeah. Like, even went out of their way to hide it from them, from her. And Jake's little ring story was he's not a good liar.
No.
He's not a good liar, but he's like a 4-year-old that got away with something in his confessional. It was kind of adorable, but he's not good at lying.
No, he was very excited that he came up with a good little tale.
It was adorable. He delights me every time he's on screen. I got good vibes from my boy Jake still. I love him. We love Jake. And you know who else is really growing on me? And I think is going to be probably one of the more dangerous players in the game. That's D.
I like D. I do.
I think her toe. Yeah, her toe is a little bit strange, but she can't do anything about that aside from surgery, and that seems a little bit extreme. I bet she has incredible balance, which is something that we noted down really early for the individual immunity challenges. So we're going to see soon if that's going to come to fruition.
It probably will.
I think she's going to be really dangerous because she's good socially. She has by far the best poker face out there. Like by far the best poker face. And I think she's going to be really good at challenges too.
Okay, so back to this idol that he found.
Yes.
Did you get a good look at it?
It's ugly.
It looks homemade.
Yes, it does. Not even does it look homemade. It looks like somebody's first time attempting that craft.
Yes. So I want him to show it to somebody, and I want somebody to say that's not real.
I would love for that to happen, because who else has an idol right now? Austin, right?
Right.
I don't remember what it looked like. And I don't know. Here's the thing that is screwing with my brain is the Australian idols are so elaborate. My brain is kind of used to right now seeing one like that instead of these like half-ass camp arts and craft things that the American Survivor uses.
Yeah, but the American Survivors used to be good too. I don't know if they just lost their idol budget or because even the tribal idol looks like you took it off of a dock.
Yeah. The tribal idol this year is laughable. I'm so glad it's going away, and I'm almost scared to see what the individual immunity necklace looks like.
Oh God.
It's going to be just like puka shells or something,
Gonna
like a
be puka shells
1990s
and
puka
pasta.
shell. Ugh, I don't want it.
So our challenge.
This challenge was so overcomplicated that by the end, I didn't give two shits who won. It was
It,
too long to build tension.
it was very, very overcomplicated, and everybody got filthy. Well, one thing, they drew rocks to split the tribe up into two.
Mm-hmm.
It always strikes me how even how it's a random pick, but it always looks like it comes out even.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it is very weird. Like, and I'm pretty active actively reading the Survivor subreddits on Reddit, obviously, and I've heard rumblings that some things might have been a little bit rigged in this episode, and the evenness of the teams being one of them, and the other one is the shocking thing that happened at Tribal Council, which we will get
Right.
into in a little bit.
Well, so by the time they get to the end of the challenge and everybody is covered in dried up mud.
They love mud so much this season. They like mud and then making them climb on things.
Yeah. And
Ugh.
then, I liked the part of the challenge where you slide down the other side, but it's rope.
Right?
So how are you sliding down this? I'm surprised nobody broke an ankle.
It like everybody looked like their knees got jolted at the very least.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what a graceful way to go down that is. I don't like any of the things with rope. I don't like any of the rope things.
No, and Jay was the one that slowed down the losing team.
And I don't understand how she got stuck.
Because she was up too high. She wasn't doing a low crawl. She was trying to get that rope thing, and she was like on all fours, too high up. I mean, girl, come on.
Like, didn't you watch the people in front of you?
I don't know what she was thinking.
Who knows?
So
I did
they
not
get
like the challenge.
no, and they get to the reward part of the win, and everybody's still covered in mud.
Mm-hmm. I would have gone into the ocean first, I think, and cleaned off and made the little mud circle that gets around them after a mud challenge, because they love showing that mud circle in the
I think
ocean.
the mud circles are funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I mean, like, did nobody tell them wash your hands before you eat? You know,
Yeah.
go rinse that nastiness off.
Mm-hmm.
You're all sitting around a table. I
Have
thought it was
some manners.
rude. Have some manners.
Yeah, I wrote down like each step of the immunity challenge on a separate line, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps.
Yep.
And that's including the cart and sandbags on one step. So
Yeah, because like two different stations for that.
also, did you hear how hard the Foley guys went with the squelching?
Yes.
It was so much squelching.
It was gross.
It was a lot. A lot of squelching.
And where did this dancing bug come from?
I don't know, but it was really fun to watch.
But what's the point of, we added more time on the weekly show, so let's fill some of that time up with a damn bug.
I thought it was adorable, but it went on for an uncomfortably long time. Like,
Exactly.
what bug needs that much attention is my question.
Well, not just that, but when I go to theme parks sometimes and I will see a family visiting from Idaho and they're fascinated by a lizard, right? So you just paid $10,000 for a week's Orlando vacation and you're going to sit there and stare at a lizard. You could have done that out on Kirkman Road, man.
Or one of the universal cats or something.
Well, yeah. I get that you don't have lizards in Idaho, but goodness gracious. There's a cheaper way to see a lizard.
You know, it is really weird not to see lizards all the time, I have to tell you. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, they just used to be like the things that hung out outside, and now I haven't seen one in over a year.
Go to Universal.
I don't know about going to Florida ever again, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I don't ever want to sweat that much.
Tribal.
Yes. Who did you think was going to go home, like, going into Tribal?
I thought it was either going to be Jay, Maya, or Emily because I understand that everybody was considering Caleb to be a threat, but first of all, at the end of the day, every name wasn't up for grabs because of how they do the mergatory or merge Olympics, whatever they want to call it these days.
Yeah. Mergy purgy, whatever the fuck.
Right. But Jay Maya is why they lost. First
yes,
of all.
100%.
Second of all, it's not like the tribe is dependent on her for anything that I can see. Right? Emily wasn't as well known. She doesn't have as many connections as somebody Caleb has, right? So, yeah, they see Caleb as a threat, but are you really going to boot a threat this early? Because there's other people that can go on immunity runs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we got to keep an eye on D, and I think Kendra's also going to be really good at immunity. I think Bruce is going to be shitty at it, though.
I think Kendra can just get off my TV screen. Not like
when
her.
She cried when they said they had fish. I was like, well, that's a lot. But then also, I don't think I've ever been that hungry, so I don't know. Maybe it is that emotional when you get fish.
Oh. So they get to the vote. And everyone votes.
Yes.
Right? So Jeff is reading the votes. And the music is swelling and it's all and I knew damn well there was no way that Caleb was going home.
Yeah, like I was like panicking kind of inside because I was like, there's no way that they're edited, that he did not get a going home edit that episode. Like, the editors fucked up by not giving us a red herring like that. Like, it was obvious to me that he wasn't going home.
Exactly. And, I've seen other episodes, whether it be the American version or the Australian version or something, where they're pointing, it's like they've got little arrows pointing, that's who's going home, that's who's going home. And you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's too obvious that it's not.
Yeah.
Right? So when he pulls out his little bag of tricks, right?
Yes.
And Jeff reads it.
Everybody's reactions.
And everybody's laughing as though it was a party joke.
Yeah.
That's what made no sense to me. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You guys just all voted for him. And now you're like
unanimously.
We've got egg on our face. Ha ha. What?
Yeah.
That.
And I'm honestly glad that he used and played his shot in the dark so they can stop talking about it, because they talked about it so much leading up to this. Like,
And
they
that's
wanted to
why.
make sure you remembered what it was. They wanted you to make sure that you knew it existed. But God,
Right.
they did it a bit much. It was a bit much.
It was a bit much. And I still don't know whether or not, it's like the rabbit in the hat where Caleb hands it to Jeff and Jeff reaches under the podium and grabs the safe one. I
Yeah.
mean, I it wouldn't surprise me one bit, but does it matter to me? No.
Yeah, same. Like, it probably made for a better game because Caleb is on all levels. As much as I liked watching her, I liked seeing her play. He's a better player, and I think he's more strategic than Jay Maya was.
Oh God, Jay Maya deserved to go. But once they started scrambling on the revote
Mm-hmm.
and Emily overheard her name,
Yes.
the look on her face, like she just wanted to kill the next person that looked at her.
Yes. She cannot hide her emotion at all.
No.
And that's going to be bad for her in the future. That's going to be bad in the future. I'm interested to see what they name the new tribe. If they go like cheesy, or like somebody did some research and came up with some name based on where they are.
Oh God, they'll probably let Bruce or Sifu name it, and they'll
Oh God,
name it
please
something
let not
stupid.
Sifu name it. every
But when
week, every week, at least 2 times in my notes, I write down, "Ugh, Sifu."
well, when was it? Recently, Sifu gets back after a tribal and loses his mind that he got one vote, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now when everybody gets back to camp after this tribal, and Caleb got all the votes.
Is Was that the first time it was like fully unanimous, like all of the votes?
Oh no, there's been unanimous vote outs, but that's the first time that somebody has gotten 11 votes and been able to wiggle out of it. I think
Amazing.
the previous record was 9 votes and they were able to like idle out of it or something.
Mm. I'm glad it worked out for him, because I'm glad we get to keep seeing him play. However, I think that the producers did like Jay Maya enough, and she was a really good narrator. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see her in the future in a All Stars or other sort of season.
She was just nothing sauce to me. And the other thing that people are calling it is they're calling it the sandwich revenge.
Oh my God. I hope this storyline continues, because I love it. I love Austin's vengeance for his sandwiches, and
Exactly.
I need a payoff for it. I wrote down a list of I think Caleb is definitely the biggest threat in the game still. And then I think it's D, and then after that I think it's probably Austin. I think those are the 3 biggest threats right now.
Well, all he has to do is get rid of Kelly, and then his amulet's an idol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I'm getting vibes from the way that Kelly's being edited that she's going to be around for a while. I don't know
I
why. I also wrote down that her eyes are beautiful, and I didn't notice that before, but she has the most beautiful eye shade.
Oh boy.
Let's see what else is in my notes. Oh my God. One thing I wrote down in tribal council right before the vote, when Caleb tried to fist bump D, how ice cold she was. Like, she gave
Well,
him no reaction.
but that's the thing, is that after he was deemed safe and then everybody's giggling like, tee, that was fun. Oopsie.
Mm-hmm.
So now they get back to camp as if nothing happened.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Even Emily voted for him.
Yeah, that surprised me. But that was another thing that got discussed a lot on the subreddits. I bet that her and Caleb had a talk about that before. Like she was like, if I want to continue in this game, if you get voted out, because you're going to get voted out anyway, I'm going to have to vote with them to show them that I trust them, like that kind of talk. And Caleb, I think because of the way that Caleb's played the game so far, I think that he would understand that.
Okay, well, that makes no sense because that's not the point of an ally. Right?
No, that you're 100% true. That's 100% true.
Because, if an ally of yours is going to say, hey, we're buds here on the beach and we can talk about dreams going to the final two, but then if somebody wants to vote you out, I'm just going to go with them because I won't make them mad. Right? That's not an ally.
Yeah. No. But it's interesting gameplay.
It's stupid gameplay because, now everybody, if everybody was on the same page to get Caleb out and then they thought it was so funny that he ended up staying, well, then where does the conversation go from there?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think there's too much herd mentality going on. There's nobody out there saying, okay, I know the numbers don't look right, but we've got to stand up for, split the vote for God's sake. What would be wrong with doing that?
Yeah. That's a really good point. There's been like the last few votes have been no split at all. Like there's been very little vote split talk at all.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's herd mentality.
Yeah. That's got to stop soon.
Because at some point, somebody's going to turn around and say, wow, I had a chance to do something different and I just went along with what everybody else was doing.
Yep.
So who's your number one?
I think I'm still going to go with my boy Jake. I don't know why. I think he's getting weirdly included in places that a character of his level normally wouldn't be. He's getting a lot more screen time than I think a character like that normally would, and I think it's for a reason. So I'm still going to go with Jake. And I assume that you're sticking with Caleb?
Ride or die, Caleb. Do I think he's going to win? Each week, I think less and less that he's going to win. But nobody else, in my opinion, is doing things as smartly as he is right now.
Yeah. The only worry I have about him is he's playing too hard and he's playing too many people. Like I hope that he's being serious about Emily being his ride or die, and like all of his other hard gameplay is either for show or to just help that relationship. But we'll just have to wait and see.
But see, that's his occupation is sales, so he doesn't know any other way to be.
I keep forgetting that he's a salesman. I keep forgetting that he must be a really good salesman to make me forget that.
Because he's shaking hands, looking people in the eye, let's do this, and yeah, he is overextending himself. But after what happened last night,
yeah,
since he's not on an immunity run, after what happened last night, hopefully people will start looking at each other more than they're looking at him.
Yeah, that's normally how it happens when somebody gets like a bunch of votes like that and doesn't go home. So I assume the target will shift next week. Despite them showing Caleb being a target in the preview, I think it's not going to be as big of a deal as they're making it out to be.
No.
I hope it's Bruce that goes home or Sifu because they just a bunch of blustering grandstanders.
Yeah, Sifu. What was it at Tribal whenever he was kind of jogging back to his seat and doing a little dance?
I was trying to figure out how to describe it so that I could say how much I hated it. Yeah. Yes, I hated it. I hated every moment of that.
And but that's the thing, is that he's the one that threw such a fit when he got one vote. So
Mm-hmm.
for him to be so giggly, oh, we're gonna get Caleb out. No, you're not.
I feel like when he gets voted out, he's gonna have this talk to the camera where he's like all positive and like chipper happy about it, and but you can tell he's gonna be like seething with like the most visceral anger just underneath the surface. Ugh. And if he ends up winning, I will just be disgusted.
Well, the season did start off with quitters, so
True.
I'm not expecting a phenomenal season overall.
When's the last time they had an all-star season? I feel like they're due.
They're due. It's probably been about what, 4 or 5?
Yeah, I can't. Oh, fuck. The last one was when Tony won for a second time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh. No wonder they haven't had another one. That was a terrible ending.
And Tony is the one that Sifu matches up most with, according to the casting.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, we did the thing. I have been Jackie.
I've been Molly.
Stay tuned.